Okay.
What is going on, everyone? I am Stevie B.
I'm Kenny G.
And welcome back to the Purple Pod, the best K-State podcast out there. We got a lot of K-State news to talk about today. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and tell your friends. We are officially over 200 subs. That's what's up, dude.
That is what is up. Woo! Let's go. Sorry, I'm a little delayed right now.
I was wondering, I was like, did he freeze or what's going on there? We got a lot to talk about today. We got some K-State football, some K-State basketball, some Big 12 basketball, and then some breaking news that just happened. Actually, maybe we should open that with that really quick. This is not an outline. I just saw right before we went live, ESPN is reporting that Nick Saban from Alabama is retiring, man. That is crazy. It feels like he's been there forever. And I know he's been at LSU before that and NFL as well. But he's had, I think, 5 national titles or something crazy like that, 5 or 6. He's one of the all-time greats in college football history for sure.
That's crazy, dude. Like, what's funny is that during an interview, he was saying that this season in particular was the one that he'll remember the most. And I kind of raised my eyebrow a little bit, and I'm like, a little bit of a cope on that because you didn't win. So how is this even better? How is this more memorable than the other national championship teams that you had? Like, what are you talking about? And he was just, he just went on this rant about how, oh, the guys, they just really overcame and, this and that, whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. Whatever, bro. Cool story, bro.
Cool story, bro. Cool story, bro. So like we said, I appreciate all the K-State fans for subscribing, and we just want to talk really quickly about college football as a whole because we feel like we've been getting a lot more views from like other fan bases. We put out that video of our Big 12 Week 1 picks, and it got like 1,000 views. We got a ton of views and comments from BYU fans. So all you Big 12 fans out there, we appreciate you guys so much. And any fan of any school or any fan of any like team, we appreciate you guys for watching us for sure.
We appreciate it, but just know we're coming with the fire. All right, we're not going to be your friends. I'm just kidding, man. We'll be nice to you. But you have to understand, this is the Purple Pod. All right, we're repping K-State here. BYU, we appreciate you guys taking the time out and watching our videos. It's really cool to have you guys in the conference. We haven't really seen much of you during the football season, but we'll check it out. We know that BYU's got a big fan base, so excited to see you guys interact with all the small little podcasts that are out there. I mean, we just started this year, so it's cool to see some growth already, reaching out to some other fan bases. That's really cool. Didn't think that was actually going to happen so quickly, but anyway, Steve, we've got a lot to cover in this video, so let's kick it off well.
Okay. All right. So the biggest news. So we put out a couple of videos last week about Matt Wells being the new OC at K-State, and that was not correct at all. He did end up getting hired by K-State as the co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. But in the announcement, the offensive coordinator, the main title as OC is Conor Riley. Seeing him at the game, because you and I went to the K-State versus UCF game and they put him on the Jumbotron. He looked really happy to be there. His family looked happy. Matt Wells looked happy. And then when I talked to Coach Kleiman about it, he said he's earned that opportunity. I actually came in 1350, interviewed Conor Riley last week. It was a really, really good listen. Shout out to Mitch Fortner and Troy Coverdale and everyone else for interviewing him. It was a really good interview, and it made me really like Conor Riley even more. And, we wanted Matt Wells to be the full OC, but we're going to be on board of whoever they hired. And I'm excited for K-State football going forward with Conor Riley as OC. And I know the offensive line is going to be really happy for him. And you know what? Michigan just won a national title with their offensive line coach being the OC as well. Kenny, I want to get your thoughts on K-State promoting Conor Riley to the OC official title. He's the guy running the offense, man.
I mean, yeah, you could say that we were hoping for something more flashy. We try to throw the wallet at the problem potentially, but K-State usually, I'd like to use this term. We always do better than the sum of our parts. So um, we may not have the big names, but we actually do better than the sum of our parts. So we'll have the 3-star recruits and the unknown OCs and all this other stuff, and then we end up overperforming usually, or performing above expectations, which overperforming. But I'm just happy for him. This guy has been super loyal to Kleiman. Kleiman's been reciprocating that loyalty, and this is a really awesome opportunity for him to really show what he can do in a full season. We know we saw what he could do in a bowl game. Let's see him translate that into a whole season. And it's also going to be nice to have Wells come in and help out a little bit. He has a lot of knowledge of the game, him being a quarterback back in the day himself, and doing some analytics for some teams, offensive coordinator, head coach for some teams, and he's had some success and some tough years too. I mean, it is what it is, but having him come in and kind of be co-captain, I think that's going to help out a lot for Conor Riley. So big shout out to him. I can't wait to see what he can do. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'll tell you what, man, I feel like there's just been like a massive influx of K-State news within like the last week. We had the Conor Riley news, the Matt Wells news, and then the next news I want to talk about as we shift our attention. We actually talked about making like a whole segment of just like K-State news. Like we talked about like news with the dudes. That was one I came up with. Willie good news. And then like the Willie news report I came up with today. I don't know if you guys have any like good ones. Let us know in the comments or in the live section. Like if you guys got any suggestions for what we should call the K-State news that just came out, let us know. Because my wife. Go ahead.
You could comment it in the comments below, or if you are on Facebook, we have a Facebook page, KSU Nation. Find us there and enter in some of that stuff. We might take the top 4, whatever, and then we'll put it into a vote and have you guys vote on it and do a poll. I think it'd be really cool to have some interaction in that way. We might even do the poll on YouTube because YouTube does polls now. I just found out. So that's cool.
So we have a lot of K-State news to talk about. And so the next one that I wanted to talk about is our guy, K-State's all-time passing touchdown leader, our guy, Will Howard.
Yep.
Has committed to the Ohio State University. I think this is a really good fit for him. He's going back, back east, a lot closer to home. Mm-hmm. He's going to play in the game against Michigan, the defending national champions. Mm-hmm. They're going to play against Penn State, which is in his home state of Pennsylvania, at Penn State. Like that is a massive game for him. Couldn't be happier for him for that. They're going to play at Oregon, which played in a New Year's Six game this year as well. I mean, he's living the dream, man. He really is. He played against Texas, Oklahoma. He played in and won a Big 12 championship. He played in the Sugar Bowl against Alabama. Like he is living the dream, and I could not be happier for Will Howard committing to the Ohio State University.
Ohio State, man, what a curveball. We all thought he was going to USC. We were all like, oh, right on, man. He's been heavy talks with them. It's still Big Ten, with the changes and everything. So he still is going to be playing in the Big Ten, but he's going to be not in sunny California. He's going to be in Ohio, the state that started it all, But anyway, happy for Will. A lot closer to home, which was kind of a contentious reason as to why he even was considering K-State and maybe not considering K-State, because he wanted to be closer to home, and understandably so. But, Will is really an outstanding player, and Ohio State really snagged a solid QB. So anybody that's going to be working under him, take some notes. You got a really good QB on you. So.
Absolutely, and I feel like this is really good for Ohio State as well, because the quarterback left. The other guys that had come in, they stunk it up, like absolutely stunk it up in their bowl game against Missouri, because K-State scored 27 against Missouri at Missouri, and Ohio State only mustered up 3 points in their bowl game against
Yeah.
Missouri. So that's not good. It's good for them that they got Will Howard. I feel like it's a great fit, and I'm sure he's getting paid very well to be there for sure.
Yeah.
Next up, we have some more K-State news, some more Willie good news. That's the one that I like the most. That's the one that I like the
Willie
most.
Good news.
Kenny, why don't you take it away with this next one? You had some stats and information about this poll.
Yeah, so the AP poll came out earlier this week. Finally, the finale poll of the ranking of all the teams, and yeah, it's K-State coming in at number 18. It looks like. So this is actually the first time that K-State, well, the first time since 2011 and 2012 that K-State has started in the top 25 and ended in the top 25. So it's only happened twice ever in the school's history, and this is one of those years. Incredible job. I know that there were some voters that were acting like, well, I'll just come out and say it. They were acting like big trolls, not even putting any of the Big 12 teams in there other than Texas and then maybe Oklahoma. They're throwing in like Troy and Toledo in the in the top 25 over OSU and K-State and Kansas. Like, I mean, as much as I hate Kansas, they played really well. They destroyed UNLV in their bowl game. It's shocking to me that there are some people out there that obviously don't believe that Big 12 football or the Big 12 conference in general is a good conference across the board. But we always are able to have these amazing games against really good teams when it comes to bowl games. So, and yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy that K-State was able to pull it out in the top 25 again. This is the second time since 2011 and 20. So it's almost like 10 years, 11 years. Awesome.
Yes, I'm going to correct you a little bit there. I know K-State started and finished in the top 25 and 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2002, and 2003.
No, I meant like back-to-back years.
Okay, I got you. I'm pretty sure they did it in 98 and 99 as well. But yeah, it's been a while since K-State started and finished the season in the top 25 and then finish in the top 25 in back-to-back years. Like you said, it's been 10 years since K-State's done that. That is a heck of an accomplishment for Coach Chris Kleiman, which is actually tied right now for the second most wins in K-State football history. He only needs to win one more, and he'll be number 2 all by himself behind, of course, Bill Snyder. I think this is great. K-State finishing 18th. I think they started number 15 in the country, I believe. So to start 15 and to end 18, when you look at the teams we lost to number 3, we lost to number 8 and 16, and then 1 as well right outside the top 25. So I guess they'd probably be a little bit more outside the top 25. But still, K-State finishing 18th is really good for their program. You can sell that to recruits and be like, hey, we finished in the top 25 in back-to-back years. We won a Big 12 championship a year ago. We're getting guys drafted in the first round of Felix Anudike-Uzomah. This is really good for K-State football to finish in the top 25. And they beat number 21 NC State by multiple scores in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which was the most watched bowl game outside of the New Year's 6 game. So I think this is really good for K-State football. And, great news for K-State all around for sure.
I mean, this is also a testament to Chris Kleiman's coaching ability. I mean, he came in 2019. You had the COVID year after that, but to basically, pretty much have like, this is his 4th year or 5th year, I guess. I don't really count the COVID year, but it's like you have the people that he started, the freshmen that came in when he started are finally ending right now. And where are we ending? We're ending in the top 25. That's a testament to his coaching. That's a testament to his program in and of itself. And it just hopefully is a projection into the future of what is to come with more, like, because now we see these we see the sophomore class that we have that's going to be juniors next year is outstanding. And then not to mention
you mean like Jacob Parrish and DJ Giddens, your 2 favorite guys? Des Purnell. Oh my God, I love that guy.
Yeah. So I mean, it just keeps going though. It just keeps going. And yeah, it's just not to mention also true freshman sensation Avery Johnson. So it's just we have a really young class coming in after this amazing senior class just got done. It's really exciting. Can't wait to see what happens. And yeah, man, top 25, second year in a row, baby. Let's go. Let's make it 3 times. Let's make it a hat trick. I know that's not something you say in football, but let's make it a hat trick.
And you know what? K-State is the only team in the Big 12 currently that has 8 or more wins in 3 consecutive seasons. That is crazy to think about when you got Oklahoma and Texas still in the conference. K-State has 8 or more wins the last 3 seasons. No one else has done that in the Big 12.
Wow.
That's crazy. Okay.
Money.
We need to move on. Over to some basketball. You and I went to a K-State game on Saturday, celebrate your birthday. We had a great time. And let's pull up the stats for that game. K-State beat UCF in the opening game of the Big 12 play last Saturday, January 6th. K-State won 77-52. It was never close. I think K-State led like 12-0. Never looked back. K-State led.
There were several times in that game where we were leading more than they had.
Yes.
It was never a game. It was never a game.
Welcome to the Big 12, UCF. Welcome to the Big 12. They lost at K-State in football in their first Big 12 game, lost at K-State in basketball in the first Big 12 game, and then their women's basketball team also lost at K-State in their first Big 12 game. Welcome to the 12, man. Welcome to the 12.
Man, they're getting smacked around by Willies.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Their best player, Jalen Sellers, who averages like 17 a game, finished with 8 points on 3 of 13 shooting. That's some pretty good defense. We only allowed 1 double-digit score in Johnson, who had 10 points. Let's look at some K-State stats here. K-State was led by Tyler Perry. He had 25 points. He made 6 threes, 5 of 5 in the free throw line. Other double-digit scores included Arthur Kaluma with 14 points. He also grabbed 6 boards. 11 points for Willie McNair Jr., 6 rebounds as well. 12 points for Cam Carter, 6 assists for Cam Carter. I forgot to mention 5 assists for Tyler Perry. And then David Gasson, you were talking about it at the game, man. It felt like he was grabbing every single rebound. He ended the game with 14 rebounds, but only 5 points. A very Dennis Rodman-like game.
Yeah, I mean,
David Gasson.
Shout out to Dennis Rodman, one of the greatest to ever do it. But man, seriously, like I was really impressed with the defense and how they were able to basically shut down any chance that they had. Like anytime they tried to go in to make a bucket inside the paint or whatever, like it just never happened. They were being held outside the arc, and like they would just throw it up as time was expiring, and like, it's just like they couldn't get anything done. The only time they ever got anything done really was on like fast breaks, and then even then they would miss, but then the guy behind them would like tap it in or dunk it in. It was a rough game for UCF, man. I really hope that they play better, because you're not showing that you can hang with the big dogs in this. And to be fair, this is the best basketball conference in the nation, period. Especially since the induction of Houston. That's for dang sure. So I'm just going to, say great for Cats. Get morale up. Like you said, TP played out of his mind. He was dropping threes, and that was kind of the story of the game. We were just able to take boards away and then dropping threes. It was legit.
So I want to talk about our K-State picks and hot takes for this game. You picked K-State to win 81-74. I said 71-61. Now I feel like I should win that since I had more confidence in them to win by more than 7. I don't know if you agree with that because you're closer on the score. I feel like for points for K-State. So I don't know. We'll go even there. But here, the hot take, that is the difference here. You had Cam Carter with 32 points. He finished with 12. I said, go back to the video. K-State would make 9 3-pointers. How many did they finish with, Kenny?
9. They finished with exactly 9.
That is crazy.
And we were even talking. There was a time where TP actually got fouled doing a three, and I was like, "Oh, does this count if he makes all 3?" And he made all 3. So technically, it could have been a 10, an even 10 there, but no, 9 threes is outstanding. What a crazy call, dude. That's just one of them things where you're just like, how do you call something like that? But I mean, you did, and it was pretty legit, man. Really, really fun game. I can't stress it enough. It was cool to be there on my birthday. It was cool to have the Cats win in such a huge way. We got to meet some people in the crowd. Hopefully, be able to get them on the show.
We met Ema Caleb. Great beard. Absolutely great. You called it.
Legendary beard. Man, you got to give me some tips, man. I mean, I've got like a good thing going here.
He's younger than us. He's younger than us. It's a testosterone difference, man. That's what it is.
Well, I don't know about you, but my test is high. Okay, I've got high test. But in terms of color, he's got me on the deep dark black. I've got so much gray, man. But no, dude, met that guy.
Was a little red, like a little brownish red. Almost.
Yeah. That guy was a cool guy. I'm glad I got to meet him. And then we also went a little bit further down into the press area. And
let me see if I can pull up the photo here. Actually, I'm going to try to find a photo as you're talking about it. Go ahead.
I got to meet a guy that we reference a lot in this show, Tim Fitzgerald, the founder of Go Power Cat. Basically, all things K-State related in terms of media and sports coverage. This guy has been doing it since like the 80s, I think. Just really, really nice guy. Got to meet him and excited to have hopefully one of them, or if not both of them, on the show. It'd be really cool to get them involved on the Purple Pod here at KSU Nation. It's been a long day, Steve.
I know you were talking about it. Here's a photo. Here, I got the photo pulled up. Here we go. Our guy.
So yeah, if you guys don't know, Tim Fitzgerald.
Timmy Fitzgerald, man. It was fun to talk to, man. He was real fun to talk to.
Great. Now everybody knows what I look like without shades. Great. My identity is exposed. I don't even know what episode this is. We'll say it's episode 48. My identity is exposed on episode 48. I don't know if that's true or not, but we're probably at like 20 or something.
3 absolute ballers right there, dude. Ballers. Yep.
That guy in the back with a mustache, eat beef. Love it.
Dude, this guy, this guy is winning at life, dude. That is an insane mustache.
He's got it going on. We're totally doxing this guy.
I don't know who that is, but
I don't know who it is either.
We had a good time hanging out, kids, for sure.
But yeah, so met some really cool people. It was a lot of fun, man. And shout out to Steve. Steve, you definitely take the cake on the K-State hot takes for this last week. But as we move on, we have to talk about a game that happened. Isn't that the next thing on the list?
It is. Yeah, I just shaking my head because I don't want to talk about it. But here we go. Okay, we're going to look at all these games really quickly. Opening week of the Big 12, KU won 83-81. Houston won 89-55. Oklahoma won 71-63.
Which, hey, by the way, the Houston-West Virginia game, I did say that it was going to be like a 50-point game or whatever, and it was close.
It was really close to a 50-point game. Yeah, for sure. You said 100-50.
Yeah.
Oklahoma 71-63. Cincinnati 71-60. And I'll talk about each one of these here in just a second. Baylor 75-70 in OT. Texas Tech with a big win for the 12. 78-67 at Texas. Screw the SEC. And then, of course, K-State won 77-52. The game we have to start with, though. TCU at KU. Now, it's been long talk about with everyone that is not a KU fan that KU gets all the calls when they're at home. Like you almost have to win by 20 plus just to win by 1 or 2. Like that's really what it feels like when you play there.
Allen Fieldhouse, baby. Allen
Yeah.
Fieldhouse.
Anyways, TCU was up basically the entire game. Late in the game, they are up, I think it's 81-79. And KU tries to pass the ball to Hunter Dickinson, who the ball gets intercepted, but he puts his hand out there. The ball goes up in the air, and the guy's going for it because he hit his arm. The guy hit him slightly, like in the neck face area. And then, of course, Hunter Dickinson, who like he's a lot like Marcus Smart, where he just falls down anytime he like lightly gets touched. He falls down. TCU's on a fast break. They stop the fast break. They go back and look at the monitor. They give KU 2 points and the ball, so they tied the game. Later, about 30 seconds later, KU gets a game-winning shot by, I think, Hunter Dickinson as well to win 83-81. I just am so tired of the bull crap that happens in Allen Fieldhouse. Like I said, it feels like you're going to win by 20. It's 8-on-5 out there. It's ridiculous the calls they get, and that was one of the worst that I had seen for them to stop a fast break, which TCU probably would have scored to go up by 4, and the game would have been over. But instead, they stop a fast break. They give KU 2 free throws and the ball. They call it a flagrant one. Absolutely horrendous. Kenny, your thoughts on that game or anything?
Well, if you compare that to the K-State basketball game, it was like UCF came to go to a boxing match. I mean, they were like throwing elbows at our stomach and stuff, and it was wild, man. It like crazy amount of fouling, and we just kept playing. The refs weren't calling anything. So, and we're only an hour and a half away, people. That's how different like an hour and a half can get you, you know. But I mean, it just seems like it's just helpless to even complain about it because I feel like it's never going to change. It's one of those things where it's like you just always end up getting the benefit of being in that stadium, and the home advantage is real over there, man. It's so real over there.
It is, and you know, shout out to them for like never quitting and and always winning at home, blah blah blah. But it's 8-on-5, like I said.
Yeah.
Shout out to the refs, impressive performance. Both of us picked KU to win by more than that, but we are 1-0 in terms of picks. Houston, I don't really want to talk that much about it. They won 89-55, I should say, against probably the worst or second worst team in the Big 12. Both of us picked Houston. You picked them to win by a little bit more than I did. We're both 2-0 in our picks. Now here comes a difference here. Oklahoma wins at home 71-63. I picked Iowa State to win in an upset, and you did not. So you are 3-0 in terms of picks there, man.
And then the next upset you predicted.
I did predict another upset, Cincinnati at BYU.
And that one was correct.
And you did not pick that.
So now we're both 3-1.
We're both 3-1. Yep. And that was, I mean, they were leading at half. And then Cincinnati in the second half, they just exploded. So, they're going to be a tough team to play because they just lost at home. And we'll talk about it here in a second. They just lost at the buzzer to Texas at home. So they're going to be a really good team. Baylor at Oklahoma State. I mean, right here is just showing how tough the Big 12 is. This game went into overtime against an 8-6 Oklahoma State team. Their coach is probably going to get fired after the season. But Baylor found a way to win, man. And we both picked Baylor to win this game as well.
This one we did not expect.
Both of us picked Texas to win at home against Texas Tech. And Texas Tech, they showed up for the Big 12. They showed up for us here, and they won at Texas, who was going to the SEC. They won by double digits, 78-67. Both of us are 4-2 then, and of course we picked K-State. So both of us finished 5-2 on the opening weekend picks, man. And
not bad.
Not bad at all. And I think there was one Texas Tech fan that commented, so shout out to him. But everyone else, we appreciate you guys for watching and commenting as well. So
yeah, I mean, to be fair, we both of us said that we were not watching either team in the non-con. So I said I was shooting in the dark. I had no idea. I was just going to take the home advantage team, and yeah.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. One more thing about this game. Pops Isaacs finished with 21 points and most for Texas Tech. He's under investigation right now for, I think, assault. It could be something else. I know he's under investigation for something, and the university put out a statement saying they're aware of it and they're going to let him keep playing. That is how you handle it. That's how Naquan Tomlin should have been handled, but that is neither here or there. So I guess we're kind of over that whole Tomlin thing. Okay, let's move on to the midweek games.
All right.
There were some games last night. There's a couple more tonight, but let's talk about probably the biggest one that wasn't K-State related. Iowa State with the upset last night, 57-53 against number 2 Houston. That is a massive win for them. I guess I picked the wrong game for Iowa State with the upset.
Yeah, what a crazy close game. Of course, it's in Ames, so you gotta be careful up there, man.
Hilton Magic, baby. Hilton Magic.
That's right.
They probably weren't prepared for all that snow and cold when they got here, because I know there's snow up there in Iowa as well, and I know those Texas boys do not like the cold whatsoever.
They do not. They're in the deep south of Texas.
They are. It's very warm there. I've been there before.
Yeah.
Moving on. Pair of top 25 teams here. Baylor starts 2-0 with an 81-72 win against BYU, who is suddenly 0-2 in the Big 12 and in danger of falling out of the top 25. I think both of us probably would have picked Baylor to win this game as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
Baylor's just that team, It's like they can beat every team, but then they could also lose to any team.
Yes,
seems
that is true.
But I would say on a more consistent basis, they could beat any team on a more consistent basis. So
yep, and they have that brand new arena they just opened as well with a terrible camera angle. I'm not looking forward to when we play there for sure. The next game, I already talked about it. Max Abmas, I don't know how to say his last name. Anyways, he had the game-winning shot for Texas at Cincinnati. I'm not gonna lie, I would have picked Cincinnati to win this game right after Texas just lost at home to Texas Tech, and Cincinnati just won at BYU. I would have picked Cincinnati to win this game for sure, but they lost at home 74-73. Who would you have picked?
What a crazy game. I don't know who I would have picked. Honestly, you could say like coming off the high of BYU, but then they had to fly all the way back home. It's just like it's just bad scheduling, I feel like, for the newcomer team. And then they got to deal with a very angry Texas for losing at home. So Texas, they answered the call, So I mean, props to them. Game-winning shot. It was a close game. I mean, it's college football or college basketball. And football.
I'm going to skip over to K-State game and go right into what he's talking about here. Texas Tech wins 90-73, and like he just said there, go ahead and highlight that comment again.
Yeah.
Ema03 says that Pop Isaacs is under investigation for sexual assault on a minor. He's still playing right now. He scored 24 points last night in a 17-point home win against Oklahoma State.
That's a yikes. That's a big yikes.
That's a little worse than Naquan Tomlin, and yet he is still playing.
Big yikes.
He is still playing, and yet Tomlin is not. So that's
we don't even know what Tomlin's in trouble for. We don't even know. There's no transparency for it. We'll never know. We'll never know.
We'll talk about the K-State game in just one second. There is one game, I think, tonight. 2 games. KU at UCF. They're going to murder them.
Oh, my God.
Only 7.5. I feel like you got to hit that spread on KU.
Are you serious?
He's going to win by like 30 for sure.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's going to be like 80-50.
Yeah, I'm going going 79-49.
All right, there you go.
This price is right as you. And then Oklahoma is number 9. They're in the top 10. Nice. At TCU. TCU is 4.5-point favorite. I'm going to go Oklahoma.
At TCU?
Oklahoma 78, TCU 73. They're ranked in top 10 for a reason, man.
Bro, they just took Kansas. Bro. Oh no, dude! You think
Oklahoma's coach is a former Loyola coach, so I feel
and isn't TCU's like court just ridiculous?
Their court is stupid. That's for sure.
It's got to be one of the worst out there. So horrible. Why would anybody want to watch that?
I know.
Uh, dude, I gotta go with the home team, man. I saw what TCU did to Kansas. I don't want to say it's a fluke. I want to say TCU over Oklahoma. I'll make it close. It'll be like 71-68, something like that.
Okay, I dig it with the upset. Well, I guess not. I guess an upset in terms of rankings,
Yeah,
but not an upset in terms of who is favored. Okay, we have to go back here. We have to talk about the biggest game for us as K-State fans. K-State wins yesterday at West Virginia, 81-67. K-State was leading basically the entire first half until West Virginia took a late 42-40 lead at the break. Now in the second half, K-State outscored West Virginia 41-25 to win 81-67. I watched the entire game, and it was a fun game to watch. Except for Tyler Perry, he did not play well. After scoring 25 on Saturday, he went 1 for 8 and scored 6 points. But your guy, Cam Carter, scored 23 points, 10 of 10 from the free throw line.
Bro, I got my games mixed up, man. I said we were gonna go 81 on the game for my birthday. We go 81 the next game. I said Cam Carter's gonna go off, and it was actually TP that went off, and then Cam Carter goes off the next game. I called the wrong game, Steve.
So that is funny. I'm going to finish up the scores here, and then I got two things I want to talk about. So 17 for Arthur Kaluma. He made 4 threes in a game. That is fantastic. 17 points for David Gasson. Man, that guy is turning into a force down low. He also added 7 boards. And then 12 points and 9 rebounds for Willie McNair Jr., who went 5 of 5 from the field. Now, here's an issue that I have. Dorian Finney-Smith is the only bench player that scored in the game. The only bench player to score. Now, I know that they have, they don't have Tomlin, they don't have Glover, but man, it's not good for K-State going forward if we only got one guy off the bench scoring. Like, Day-Day Ames has got to figure it out. He went 0 for 3. He hasn't really scored or made a difference in a game in a while, it feels like. I'm glad that Dorian Finney-Smith is playing well. In fact, I love that. I mean, he's getting a couple dunks, steals, backdoor cuts. I love it. I want to see some outside shooting from him. But we need some of these other guys to make an impact, man. RJ Jones hasn't done nothing. He's done nothing in forever. Like I said, Day-Day Ames has done nothing. Colbert came in and he got a couple blocks and some rebounds, but like we need some scoring off the bench because when we play at Houston or KU or some of these other schools, some of our starters are going to get into foul trouble and we're going to have to dig into this bench, and these guys are going to have to figure out a way to score going forward, man. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about our bench not scoring like basically at all.
I know it's not like last year where we had Swish Masu, like coming off the bench. Swish-ish. Did not, we would have him coming off the bench and he'd be just dropping buckets from behind the arc, so it's a little rough there, but I think if we can continue to play clean with our starters, it seems like if TP's not having a good game, Cam Carter goes off. And it seems like if Cam Carter isn't, he's always playing well, but if he doesn't go off, then TP kind of covers that. And so, and it, like you said, Gasson is really starting to come into his own, really, honestly, taking that role that Tomlin would have been in, so maybe giving him a little bit more confidence because the dude's got the size. So he looks good on the court. It's just, I guess it's the confidence and just believing that he can get it done. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I think the people off the bench, they can be more enablers, I guess. Like Day-Day Ames, he doesn't have to come out and be like Steph Curry or anything like that. But if he can enable the offense and get some people, if he's like going in and then like throws it out to like Cam Carter and he drops a bucket, I'm good with that. Like, Day-Day Ames' ball handling skills are insane. I keep mentioning it all the time. His handles are real, dude. So I just think it's not to me, and at least when I'm viewing it, to me, it's not so much like we have to have scores that come off the bench. It's more so like do we have guys that can still enable the people that are going to make plays? You know, like you said, McNair and Gasson down. I mean, we like doing those weird like lob passes, right to them all the time. And I think if we can create situations where we can keep doing that stuff, then we're going to develop more targets, like just in the starters role. Because last year it was just all like Keontae Johnson and and you would have Desi Sills sometimes would pop off, and it was mostly Keontae Johnson and him, obviously popping off almost all the time in every game. So it's just like I think we don't have like a superstar like that, but I think we have a good team. But we'll have to see as the season unfolds, and we've got some. We have a very easy schedule in the very beginning, at least in my opinion.
Then it gets tough.
And then it gets hard as we get into February. The back half of our schedule is going to be rough. So keep a lookout for that.
So yeah, K-State started 2-0, and that's exactly what you want against two really bad teams. I want to touch one more thing on the game, and then we'll talk like globally what was good about last night's game. K-State had 4 fouls on 3-point shots because the refs were calling fouls because West Virginia shooters were kicking their feet out and trying to get a body call foul. And I was getting really frustrated with it because one time Dorian Finisher, all he did is put up his hand, and the guy ran into him on a 3, and they called a foul. And I was starting to get really pissed off. And then they called a really bull crap technical on Gasson because he was trying to move a guy out of their huddle. But still, K-State, they only gave up 67 points. That Roquan Battle guy that played for, I think it was Montana State last year. K-State played against him in the NCAA tournament. He did finish with 21, but like I think 18 or 16 of that was in the first half. So K-State really buckled down defensively in the second half. They were able to fight through the terrible officiating in the first half to win a double-digit game, which, like I said, winning your first 2 Big 12 games is amazing, especially when you do it by double digits. Now, I don't care that it was against the 2 worst teams in the conference. You and I talked about, like, K-State has to start 2-0. They have to win at least 8 or 9 games in the conference to get into the NCAA tournament, and they've done both of those things. But now this is when things start to ratchet up for K-State in terms of their schedule. And I'm going to bring up this weekend's games.
I think there's a potential that K-State can go 4-0, but the 5th game is going to be hard. The 5th game is going to be very, very hard.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the schedule really quick because I don't know who we're playing outside of Saturday. Okay, because we'll talk about that really quickly, and then we're going to move on to our second weekend picks here.
Just a hint, the 5th game is against Houston.
Okay, all right. At Texas Tech, at home against Baylor, at home against Oklahoma State. So you think K-State can start 5-0?
No, I said 4-0, but hold on a second.
You must have looked at it incorrect because then we play at Iowa State and then at Houston. So maybe 5-1, 4-2.
Maybe so. I thought we played Oklahoma State before Baylor.
These 3 games back to back are going to be tough. And then you got KU and BYU on the other side of Oklahoma State. Ouch. And the one game that's not so tough is an away game at Oklahoma State. That is rough. And then to finish things off, these 3 games are going to be really tough to finish off. At Cincinnati, at KU, and at home against Iowa State. Wow, that is going to be rough. Okay, let me pull up Big 12 Week 2 scores or the scoreboard so we can see who we're going to pick. Okay, let me go back. I think one more. Okay, all right. Okay. Can I not pick Saturday? What is going on here? So let me look at scoreboard for Saturday. I am not prepared. This is not good. What's going on here? It's not letting me pull up the games for Saturday, dude.
This is a
Friday. Okay, there we go. I got it. I was clicking Thursday.
Wow.
Okay, here is the games coming up this weekend in the Big 12. This is officially Week 2, we're going to pick Saturday's games and then the early week games, which we did not do last week. Let's start it off, man. KU at home against Oklahoma, a pair of top 10 teams. I'm assuming KU is going to be favored by about 6 to 8 points. Who you got, and what's your pick?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go KU here, man. I don't know. I think this could potentially be a low scoring. I mean, they're at KU, so KU's gonna win via officiating. It might be a lower scoring game, I would think. Probably around this, hanging around the 60s, maybe like 66 to like 60. We'll say.
Here's my pick. So if Oklahoma wins at TCU tonight, which is Wednesday, January 10th, then I think they're going to pull an upset on Saturday at KU. Now, if they lose at TCU, I think they're going to lose on Saturday. So I already said Oklahoma is winning at TCU, so I'm going to pick them with the upset on Saturday. The upset city, baby. I'm going to go 79-72. They're going to win by multiple possessions at KU. That's my hot take of the week.
It's wild. They're going on the road twice this week, so
yep.
Good luck.
BYU at UCF. I think we're going to pick BYU to win this game. Just by how much? What's your score?
We got to see UCF firsthand, and it was just unimpressive to say the least. So I don't know what the score is going to be with BYU UCF, but I cannot see UCF scoring any more than 50 points a game now after what they just showed. It was horrible. I mean, it was really bad. I don't know if they've got any shooters on their team. So we'll just go like BYU 70, UCF 59, 58. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I think BYU is not as good as their ranking is. I mean, they're 0-2 in a conference for a reason. I do think UCF played really bad against K-State. I think part of it was K-State, but I also think UCF is not very good. I'm going to pick BYU to win, but closer than people think. I'm going to pick BYU to win 68-62 by 6 points. K-State at Texas Tech. This is our game of the week for K-State fans here.
Yeah, this is gonna be. This is not going to be an easy game. Okay, they just they put a hurting on Texas. They won their last game too, right?
They won by 17 at home against Oklahoma State.
Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be tough, and this is an away game for us. Double away games. Not a fan.
No.
Not a fan at all. But I don't know. I'm always a homer here when it's teams that look close together. I think we will play. I think we can play up to our competition. I think we may have been overlooking West Virginia a little bit. Maybe looking at this game. I'm going to go ahead and say K-State wins. We're going to go like 71 K-State, and then Texas Tech, we'll say like 68.
Okay. You're really close to what I'm thinking. Okay. So here's my pick for the game. I am going to pick K-State to win the game. I'm also a homer. I don't care what anyone says. I feel like it's going to come down to how much foul trouble K-State gets in. They have the big guy down low. And, Perry has been struggling from the outside. Can we weather the storm against a good team? I think K-State is going to have to come back in the second half and win. I'm going to pick K-State to win 71-70. So same score for us, but I'm only going to pick us by 1 instead of 3. So hot take of the game is K-State is going to make 20 free throws. A weird hot take. That's my hot take. It's going to be a lot of fouls in this game. It's going to be really physical. K-State's going to make 20 free throws in the game. That is my hot take of the game. What's yours?
My hot take is going to be that K-State is going to be behind in the first half by 5 points, but then make it up in the second. So we'll be trailing them, and then we'll come back.
I love it. And second round K-State fans, because we're going to talk about next week's game right after all these picks here.
Yeah.
Houston at TCU. TCU's got a couple home games in a row after losing at KU. I do think Houston is going to bounce back in this game after losing at Iowa State, but it's a struggle, man. This conference is tough. I'm going to pick Houston to win 78-70.
Ooh, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I'll say Houston wins 72-70. I'll say that it's going to be really close game. Yeah.
Not low scoring, sorry, a close game.
Close game, yeah. I was like 140 points.
Houston's gonna figure out a way to come back here. They only have one loss. That's pretty impressive. Okay, Texas at West Virginia. I think we're both picking Texas here. West Virginia. I watched them firsthand. They are not good. They turn over the ball a lot. Sometimes they look disinterested. There's no crowd there. There might be a bigger crowd for this weekend's game, but I mean they're 5-10 for a reason. Texas is in the top 25 for a reason. I don't know. I feel like you're probably on the same wavelength as me. I'm going to pick Texas to win 86-61. They're going to win huge.
West Virginia, man.
West Virginia sucks, man.
Their home court advantage is not going to matter. Texas is going to win by 20. It's going to be 85-65.
85-65. I like it. Iowa State at home against Oklahoma State. Iowa State coming off of the high of beating Houston at home. Oklahoma State just lost in overtime. You know, most people would say that Iowa State's probably still going to win this game. I don't know. I got a weird feeling. I mean, Oklahoma State usually wins in Ames. It's weird, man. And I'm going to pick it again. I think they're going to win. I don't know, like 62-51. It's going to be another low-scoring game for Iowa State. And I got the upset, man. Oklahoma State wins.
I'm going to say Iowa State wins. I'm going to say that they win. I think they're going to win pretty handily. It's at home. So I think, and the Saturday is going to get really cold. If you thought that last week was cold, it's going to get really cold. Yep. So I'm going to say Iowa State. We'll go 78, Oklahoma State, 66. We'll say that.
Baylor, number 14 in the country, at home against Cincinnati. Two really good teams, man. I think this is going to be a really good game. I'll let you go first this time. Who do you got? Because I'm not quite sure who I want to pick yet.
It's really hard for me to not go for the home team all the time because also, like I said, Baylor's the kind of team that can win against everybody, but then also a team that could lose to anybody except for West Virginia. There's no chance of ever losing to West Virginia.
UCF.
Or UCF. Yeah, we just happen to play the worst two teams ever.
I like it.
But I'll go Baylor. The home court advantage is real in this conference for sure. You saw it firsthand against KU. You saw it firsthand. We'll go Baylor. I'll say this will be a 60s game, so 63-60, win by 3.
I'm also going to pick Baylor. Their gym, though, is like half the size of KU's, but they're pretty excited about it, and they're top 15 for a reason. They're a good team. Cincinnati is a good team as well. I just think Baylor is better. I think it's going to be in the 60s as well. I'm going to pick Baylor 69-61. I'm a little bit more confident than you. Let's move on to next week's games and midweek games, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
So Tuesday games, January 16th. We have
the temperature will be back up to normal freezing temperatures, not the freaking Antarctica freezing temperature.
I thought Tuesday was going to be cold too.
Oh no, never mind. Yeah, Tuesday's going to be the worst.
Yeah,
I was thinking
Monday's the worst. Monday's the worst. Sunday is -1, dude. Oh my gosh.
Tuesday's supposed to be -12. Anyway, all right.
Cincinnati at home against TCU on Tuesday. Who you got? What's your pick?
Wow. What an amazing matchup. Cincinnati's going to lose to Baylor, but then they're going to come home and play against TCU in a really, really good game. I've got this 75-74
Ooh,
Cincinnati.
I like it. I also think Cincinnati's going to win. They proved something to me, winning by double digits at BYU. They got a tough team, and I watched part of their their highlights against Texas. Their fans care, man. Their fans really do care. They're going to show up for this game. I'm going to pick Cincinnati to win. Let's go 70-65. All right, here we go. Another K-State game here. Game of the week. Every time. K-State at home against top 15 Baylor. I'll go first this time. I'm going to pick K-State to win. I said it at the beginning of the season. I think K-State has to win a couple of games, at least 3, against the top 4 or 5 teams in this conference to add to their resume to get into the tournament. And they have to win this. Jerome Tang is 2-0 against Scott Drew and Baylor. He's about to be 3-0, even though we don't really have that much on the bench. I really like what Willie McNair has been doing down low. David Gassan's been doing well as well, rebounding the ball. And I feel like Tyler Perry is going to figure out a way to score a bunch of points at home. I'm going to pick K-State to win 68-59.
Yeah, so back what I was saying about Baylor, they can beat any team, they can lose to any team, and this is the team that they're going to lose to. It's going to be kind of like early mid season, this is going to be a game that kind of goes along. I'm going to say this is going to be like a hot take along with the score prediction. K-State's going to win in overtime, 72-69. K-State's gonna win.
I love it. I love 69. There you go. What's your hot take then?
It's gonna be that the game's gonna go into overtime.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jerome Tang is undefeated in overtime games at K-State. So I like that hot take. My hot take is Tyler Perry is going to score 20 plus points at home against Baylor.
He's got the hot hand at home. I'll tell you that.
He does for sure. KU at Oklahoma State. I think we're both going to pick KU to win this game.
We got to pick a upset at least once,
I just did. I just did on Saturday. I said Oklahoma's going to win at KU. I already picked that. You're the one who's afraid of the upsets, man. You pick all the home teams.
Well, this would be an upset if I picked the home team. No, I gotta go Kansas here. I said this in the beginning of when we did the preseason picks here. I said that as good as Oklahoma State is at football, they are just not that in basketball. So, and it's like the opposite with Kansas. As good as they are in basketball, they are not that in football. So this is like the tale of the two tails here. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and say Kansas wins. I think they're dropping 80 on Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is probably going to get maybe 60, 63. We'll say 63, 17-point win.
Okay. I'm going to say KU wins as well. 85-75, 10-point win. Oklahoma State's going to be up for this game. Their fans are going to be excited, even though they're not very good. Like they've lost a bunch of close games. I think KU's way better.
Yeah.
They'll probably be leading by more than 10, but Oklahoma State might make a couple baskets late to make it a 10-point game. This is probably the best game outside of the K-State Baylor game. We had Iowa State at BYU. I just picked that Iowa State was going to lose at home to Oklahoma State. I'm going to pick them to win at BYU. And it's going to be a great crowd, man. Like the Marriott Center is a lot like Hilton Coliseum. Like their fans really care. It's a big arena. We already talked about BYU having a big fan base. Hopefully their fans like us after I'm picking them to go 2-0 this week. Actually, I'm going to pick them to go 1-1 because I just said Iowa State's going to win. I'm going to have Iowa State winning 77-66, and here come the BYU haters.
Well, dude, we've been disagreeing a lot in this podcast because I think BYU is going to win this game. They're going home finally, and they're going to be really up for a true. What do they call? What do we call the original 8? What do we call the original 8 in the
Big
Big
Eight.
12? The Big 8. I thought they were called like the Crazy 8 or something like that. I don't know, or the Faithful 8.
The people call them the Hateful Eight
The Hateful 8. The Hateful 8. BYU is going to be up for one of the original Hateful 8 teams. So, yeah, they're going to be wanting some wins. It's a big win here. So I'm going to say BYU takes on Iowa State. Iowa State's not going to get acclimated to the time change again. This is a really late game. It's in a whole nother time zone. It's way out in freaking Utah. So yeah, we're gonna say BYU with a win over Iowa State. We'll say BYU gets 68, Iowa State 60.
They're gonna love you, man. They're gonna hate me, but you know what? I really wanted to go in there after they were talking about how I was gonna pick them to lose last weekend, and everyone's like, "Oh, you know, blah blah blah, they're gonna win," and then they lost. I really wanted to comment back, but you know what? I did not. I just liked what they said.
Don't pour salt on the wound. Don't pour.
There is 3 more games in the Big 12.
Oh my God! All right,
Oklahoma at home against West Virginia. We'll try to speed this up really quickly. Oklahoma's going to win 84-64 against West Virginia. The Mountaineers are terrible.
Yep, Oklahoma by 90.
Another game that's not going to be close. Texas at home against UCF. Texas 91, UCF 61.
Ooh, that's good. Yep, I'm gonna I'll just copy and paste that to my answer. Not trying to speed this up. I really think that Texas could drop 90 on this team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is gonna be a good game. Texas Tech at Houston.
Oh yeah,
good game.
Battle of the Texas teams. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean they play each other a lot in football, and I think this is gonna be a good game. Their crowd is gonna be really into this. I'm gonna pick Houston to win 74-67.
You also have to understand that a lot of the recruits and players on these teams probably played each other in like high school and stuff like that. So it's gonna be pretty exciting to see. So I'm gonna say Houston because they're at home again. I keep picking the home team, but Houston, you have a lot to live up for that ranking that you got next to your name there. So I'm going to say Houston, you got the win. It's going to be an 80-point to 73 win by 7.
There we go, and that is our Big 12 Week 2 picks. For
I feel like I just ran a marathon.
Tuesday and Wednesday, yeah. I mean, when we got I don't know, there's 7 games on Saturday and then 7 games on Tuesday and Wednesday. We just picked 14 games, man. That was a lot. But we appreciate everyone for watching.
Yes.
Kenny, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share it to your friends. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page again. It's KSU Nation Facebook group page. We have been posting all the stuff that we usually talk about on here. We kind of just post throughout the week of the news that's going on, and just some like funny memes if they're out there, some good tweets here and there, or sorry, X posts. I don't know what you call it now.
I still call it Twitter and tweets.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't really have anything left. I'm going to go eat some dinner and then go to bed early because I've had the longest day of my life.
Oh, you're not going to gymnastics tonight?
I'm going to pass on that. I have to, dude. I have to.
That's
for
fine.
the sake of my health.
I'll go by myself. I'll hang out by myself and watch our kids do gymnastics.
For the sake of my health, I can't. I just can't do it.
Well, like you said, make sure you guys like and subscribe and tell your friends. We've gone up like 120 subs over the last 3 weeks. Hopefully, we can get up to 500 by the end of basketball season. That's the goal. We appreciate everyone for watching and all like the fans of the other schools and all of that. We do appreciate that very, very much. And hopefully the Cats can get a win at Texas Tech on Saturday. But I'm Stevie B.
I'm Kenny G.
And go Cats, baby.
Go Cats, baby!